Super Friends. Today we are going to talk about the last area of using letter of the week to increase vocabulary, and it's my newest creation. I've been using it with my classes for the last couple months and I love it so much because it really works on some very important core vocabulary words that most, if not all, of your students are going to need to learn. So again, we're using the letter B as our example, and let me show you what I've done for my core vocabulary word for the letter B. Is going to be the word big. So there are multiple parts to these activities to this lesson. The first is that it comes with a parent letter and a teacher letter and buy-in, and this has been awesome. I send these home right before the week begins, so like the Friday or the Thursday before. It tells families how to make the sound. It gives examples of how to use it in phrases or sentences, and then there's also a list of a whole bunch of other B words that they can be working on. I also give these to the teachers in the classrooms. These are self-contained classrooms that I'm using this with, and I give it to the teachers to remind them, and the assistants too, to be practicing all these B words, but especially the core word. So the core word for B is big. I created a communication board to go with each letter of the week, and the bottom part is the core words. This is the same that you're going to find in my core communication flip books, and I also have the color words. You don't necessarily need them, but I always find they're useful to have. On the top, you're going to have the letter of the week, and then you're going to have the core word if it's not already included in here, and then you're going to have a bunch of other vocabulary that matches with that letter. So this week for B week, you're going to have the core word, the letter, the core word is big, and then you have this other vocabulary, and you'll see that we're going to use that other vocabulary in multiple other activities. So the communication board actually can be very helpful. One activity that you're going to use this for is the file folder activity. And every week the file folder activity is going to be a little bit different. In this case, it's actually comparison of big and small. So I would say, what is big? And then I'd have to find big and small. So I could say, this one is small. And so let's say that one is big. And then I would come down here, and then I'd help the student say, the bear is big, if they're able to be verbal, and if they're not, they can point to the words. And that is the B file folder activity, and you can use it for all sorts of kiddos, verbal, nonverbal, whatever, and you're working on the word big. The other activities that I'm going to show you need the table, so I'm going to switch on over to the table in a second. Just hold on. So this here is my big activity. So we have the word big and we have the word small, and what students are going to be doing is sorting big and small items, and you can use really highly motivating items, or you can just use things that you find around your room, whatever you want, and then the students can practice, if they're verbal, saying big and small, or they can practice pointing to big and small after they've done the receptive task. So let me show you what I have for my big and small. I have here a shoe. So the students are going to say the shoe is big, and then maybe I'll hand them a Lego, and I'd be like, oh, but the Lego is so small. And I could use my words over here. I could use the big and the small. Oh, this paint, oh my goodness, look at this. This is quite big. This goes on the big side. And then I'd sort my paper clip over here would go on the small side. And I could do that for as many activities and as many items as I wanted and felt like was motivating. The last thing with the core word and vocabulary of the week is a worksheet. I've already done the job of cutting things out for you. Let me move that shoe. I've already cut out the items, so I'm going to give the student directions. I'm going to say, glue the big bear on the big book. And then I'd go through my choices, and I would glue the big bear on the big book. Glue the little boat on the little book. And here we go, little boat, little book. Should probably move those things out of the way. And you get the idea. You're going to glue all these items on until you have them all glued on. And what's nice about this is that you can do it together as a therapy activity. You can send it home. Parents can keep working on it at home. There's a lot of different ways to use this in a lot of locations. The classroom can use it. You can do it as a group activity within the classroom, and all of that should work just fine. So I hope that you can find some great uses for core word and letter of the week. I hope you love using letter of the week as a way to plan your curriculum and make your lesson plans so much easier. And let me know in the comments or by replying back to me what you think about it and if you think you're going to try using letter of the week yourself. Thanks.